Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome to a new reading vlog. I've already started my reread, and that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I read this sometime last year, and I'm giving it a second chance because several reasons. Number one, I just finished watching the show like last weekend, and I absolutely loved the show. The show hit me deeply, and I feel like I will be able to connect better to the story and to the characters now that I have watched the show and I've seen it. I think that I'll be able to translate that better than if I was just going to reread this in general. I also want to give it a second chance because some of the things that I know bothered me about this book, I think I'm at a point in my reading where those things don't bother me as much, specifically the miscommunication that happens. I know that was one of my biggest gripes about this book was the constant miscommunication, but that actually doesn't bother me anymore. And in fact, I think it makes for a very good story now if it's done well. And I just want to give it a second chance. And then the other slightly smaller reason why I want to give this book a second chance is because when I did read this, I read it for a 24-hour readathon, and I was forcing myself to read it. And anytime I have to force myself to read something, my enjoyment goes way, way down. And it was the last book I read in that readathon. It was super late at night. I was tired and I just didn't want to be reading anymore. And I think that those feelings of not wanting to read and being frustrated with the miscommunication really sapped a lot of the enjoyment out of this book. So I want to give it a second chance, and I did start my reread this morning. I'm on page 114 now, so I'm a decent chunk of the way in, and I'm enjoying it so much more than I did the first time I read it. I'm actually annotating in it this time around, and I think it definitely helps that I watched the show first. It is really helping me to connect with the story and to connect with the characters. So my recommendation is if you've read this book and you didn't enjoy it as much as everybody else did, give the show on Hulu a chance because the show is so good. But yeah, this book, I know, because I read it before, I know it's gonna hurt my feelings. I am well aware of that, and the show hurt my feelings. I might even rewatch the show or rewatch certain episodes. But yeah, I'm really glad that I'm rereading this and giving it a second chance because it's definitely not shaping up to be another 2-star read. I'm not going to be doing ratings, at least this month, because I just want to try it and see if I can articulate my thoughts and feelings on a book without giving it a star rating. But I can definitely tell you that I am enjoying it way more this time around. The next book I'll be picking up in this vlog is Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. It says it's a love story, but on the very back it says, Alone with You in the Ether is a contemporary love story like no other, exploring the nature of love, what it means to be unwell, and how to face the fractures of ourselves and still love as if we're not broken. So I'm sure that there's going to be lots of mental health discussion in here, and I think it's another story of these two broken people finding love, and I've just been anticipating reading this book for such a long time, and I'm really excited to finally get to it. I think it's going to be very beautifully written, and I'm very eager to get to it. And then the other book that I'll be reading in this vlog, I don't have my physical copy of yet. I did order a copy on Pango Books, so hopefully that gets here sometime this week, but that is Before We Were Strangers. And who is the author of that? I can't remember. I'll pop up a picture on the screen, but I ordered my copy of that. I saw this on Steph Bohr's story. She said that it's basically like Normal People but more fulfilling, and so I'm curious what that is going to be about. I think it's a second chance at love. These two people who were in love when they were younger get split apart and they don't see each other for 15 years, and then they have a chance encounter and they kind of try to work through their stuff. And especially because Steph compared it to Normal People, I thought that I would include it in this vlog. And I don't know, I might have another book that I want to read, but these two for sure because I have them both, and I'm very excited to be reading both of them. So starting with Normal People, I'm gonna go have some dinner and then I'm going to continue reading. I'm listening to the audiobook for this one because the narrator is Irish, has an Irish accent, and this is set in Ireland, and it helps me especially with the lack of quotation marks. So yeah, we're gonna go continue reading Normal People, and I will check in when I have something to say. Hello everyone, I have some reading updates for you. So since we last talked, I finished reading Normal People by Sally Rooney. I am so surprised that I ended up loving this because of how I felt when I read it the first time in 2021. I just I remember being so seriously annoyed with this book and like so crabby about it. And now I'm like, I hate that I said anything bad about this. I do truly believe, though, I would not have connected to the book and to the characters as much if I hadn't watched the show. I think the show does a really good job of telling the story of Marianne and Connell. And I think the acting is so well done in that. And it just, I don't know, when I was reading this, I was able to like picture how certain conversations were going. And I think the first time I read this, I wasn't able to like pick up on the emotions as well. And I think reading it this time, that really helped me to enjoy the book more because I was able to kind of picture those conversations and those situations and what was happening. I know I keep talking about the show, but honestly, it's probably one of the best adaptations from like book to screen that I have ever seen, because like there were so many scenes that were like exact and so many dialogue like lines that were literally exact word for word. So yeah, I really enjoyed it the second time around. I'm very glad that I gave it a second chance. I also feel like I didn't pick up on the discussion around like class that is had in this book the first time I read it. This time around, it was like very apparent, all of the discussions on class and how that kind of thing can like really stick with you throughout your life, no matter like what your situation is. And there's just like so many insightful quotes and just like beautiful quotes about life and about love and about depression that like really stuck with me and like will stick with me for a very long time. So yeah, that was Normal People. I know it was very quick. It's a short book. I mean, it's less than 300 pages, so I read it pretty quickly, but I didn't have a ton to update on. But definitely recommend reading this book and watching the show. Check the trigger warnings for it. I tried to include some content warnings in my Goodreads review, but it's possible that I've missed some. So check out those if you haven't already. I mean, honestly, probably most people have read this. But if you haven't yet and you're kind of on the fence about it, honestly, watch the show and then read the book. That's my suggestion. I know that's like a reader like sacrilege. For me personally, I just found it was much more enjoyable after watching the show, and I feel like I have a little bit of a unique insight on, I read it before watching the show and didn't enjoy it, and then I watched the show and then I reread it and now I do enjoy it. If you have read it and you didn't like it, I would still recommend watching the show. So yes, those are my thoughts on Normal People. The last 2 pages are like, that's gonna be on my mind for a very long time. I'm sure that I will think about this quite frequently, and like the last scene of the show as well. So yeah, I annotated the crap out of those last 2 pages. But yeah, I can see that sticking in my brain for many years to come. So those are my thoughts on Normal People. And then I did also start Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake today. I did not get super far in. What page am I on? 47. So I'm just in the beginning bits here. And I don't know how to describe what this book is about, apart from like that little tiny paragraph on the back cover. I don't want to like read too much into the synopsis. At this point, I can't give a solid synopsis. I'm definitely gonna have to read more before I try to even formulate a synopsis, because part of me like doesn't even understand what's going on right now. I will say the writing is extremely unique and intelligent. Like, I almost feel too dumb to read this. It reminds me of Middle Game by Shauna McGuire, just like not anything to do with the story, but just in how uniquely it's written, but also in like the tone and the fact that you almost feel like, am I smart enough for this? But it's like, is this too much for my brain? Is this like, I don't know. I don't know. Those are my scrambled little thoughts about Alone with You in the Ether right now. I don't have much else to say other than that. So I'm going to continue reading this tonight. I'm gonna try to get past the 100-page mark tonight. Maybe I'll even, let's see, because it's split up into parts. Maybe I'll read up to part 3, which is page 114. This is another short book. It's less than 300 pages, so I feel like I'll be able to read this one fairly quickly as well. I don't want to rush it at all, but it just doesn't take me that long to read these kinds of things, so. And then the other book that I was going to read for this vlog, Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, I ordered it on Pango Books, and I'm not sure when that's going to get here. It hasn't shipped yet, and the seller contacted me and said that it might be a little bit until she can get it shipped out. So I'm hoping that it comes sooner rather than later, but who knows? So I might pick up a different read until then. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'll do my reread of Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, because it's like in my line of sight right now and I'm just looking at it, and it's one of my favorite books of all time, and I could do that. Maybe I'll do that. I wasn't intending to do that, but maybe I will. Oh, also, I could read The Winners by Frederick Bachman, which is a newer release. It's the 3rd Beartown book. So who knows? Who knows? But I'm getting ahead of myself here because I still haven't even finished Alone with You in the Ether. So I'm going to go continue reading for the night, and I will probably check in maybe sometime tomorrow when I have more cohesive thoughts on this book. Okay, hello. It is later in the night now, and I've read a bit more of Alone with You in the Ether. So I'm about halfway through. I'm on page 135, and I'm really, really liking it now. I was a little worried at the beginning that it was going to kind of go over my head a little bit, and that, like, some of the, like, math, like, theoretical math talk was going to, like, go way too far over my head, but I'm really enjoying it. In fact, I really like how Aldo thinks. Basically, this book is about 2 people. It follows Regan and Aldo, and they like have a chance encounter in this art institute. Regan works there as a tour guide, and Aldo just like goes there to think. And they kind of like hit it off a little bit, and they develop this kind of like, it's kind of a strange friendship, to be honest, but they make a connection like right away, and basically it's just like their story of like this connection that they've made. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's definitely talking about like mental health and just like human connection, but yeah, I'm just really liking the writing. There's some profound and beautiful quotes in here, and I'm just really enjoying the story. So I'm very happy with that, because I was a little bit nervous when I read like the first like few pages or whatever. I was like, oh no. But I'm loving it. So yeah, it's really beautiful, and I'm really liking it. So I am going to set this down for tonight and go to bed, but I will read more of this tomorrow. So I'll probably check in maybe once I finish this, or I don't know. I'll just see you in my next update. Okay, I just finished Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake, and I really liked this book. The writing, it's so good. It's so intense and like intelligent, and there were so many quotes and like full passages, like page after page after page, that I just wanted to highlight. I annotated a lot in this book, and I did highlight a lot in this book as well. It's just like super quotable, and I really liked how uniquely this was written. Like, I don't even know how to describe it without like reading you certain pages, but I'm not gonna do that. But it would be like told like a normal novel would be told, and then there would be some pages where it was like stream of consciousness kind of, and there was not like actual dialogue, even though there was conversations happening between the characters, but it wasn't said or like written out like a conversation. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but if you've read the book, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, there was tons of discussion on mental health, self-worth, self-loathing, medicating a mental illness and stuff like that. So it was really insightful, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know, I feel like I'm not articulating my like thoughts on this super well, but I really enjoyed it, and I feel like this is one of those books that like the longer you sit with it, the more like thoughts you'll have on it, and the more it will mean. But yeah, the writing, oh, it was so good. It was exactly the kind of writing that I thought that I was going to get out of this. And it also just makes me want to learn more about bees and hexagons. So that is Alone with You in the Ether. Really like that one. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to read next. I have a few here that I could choose from. I wanted to read Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino, but I still haven't gotten it from Pango Books. I know it's only been like a couple days though. So maybe I'll be able to get to that in this vlog. Who knows? I could finally get to I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. So this is a memoir. This is a nonfiction book all about Jeanette McCurdy and what it is like to be a child actress and having like a rocky relationship with her mother who is abusive. I've heard that this is like very emotional. I don't know if I'm in the mood for a nonfiction right now, but I'm kind of leaning towards this one because I've been wanting to pick it up since it came out. I will let you know when I decide what book I'm going to pick and when I get that started. Hello everyone. It has been probably about a week since my last update. I got really sick. And this is the first day where I'm like back to feeling like normal again. I was down for the count for a few days there, and I've just been like kind of out of it for the last couple of days. I'm feeling better and like still going to work and stuff, but yeah, just like, I don't know, not feeling myself 100%. So this is the first day where I'm like finally like feeling up to doing an update, and I have a lot of things to update. I've read 2 books since the last time that we talked. So I did end up picking up I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I did really enjoy this one. Like I said, it's been probably like about a week now since I've read this one. I listened to it on audio, and I feel like that's the way to go because Jeanette is the one who narrates it. So it's just basically like listening to her tell her story, which I really appreciated. I did not know any of this stuff was going on. I don't know that anybody really knew that any of this stuff was going on until she did like some interviews and then came out with this book. So it was very insightful to see what it was like for her to be a child actress, especially one that didn't really want to do that job, was just doing it to make a parent happy. And then also to see like her relationship with her mother and how toxic and abusive it was. Just broke my heart. I think it was really well written, and I'm definitely interested to see more memoirs about like child actresses and even child influencers. So yeah, I really liked this one. Glad that I finally was able to get to it. And then the other book I read, I actually read this in a single sitting. It was so fast, and that is Stolen Heir by Sophie Lark. So this is the second book in the Brutal Birthright series. So the first book is Brutal Prince. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So the main girl gets kidnapped by the main guy. They're like rival mafia families, and he like keeps her in his mansion, and she is a ballerina, and he's obviously a part of the mafia. But yeah, this was a really quick read. It was really fast. I really liked it. I don't know if I liked it better than the first book. I think so. I think I liked it better than the first book. But it's been a while since I've read Brutal Prince, so I don't really know. I do feel like the relationship developed fairly quickly. I would have appreciated more like interactions with them and like the slow shift from hate to love. I think it kind of, I don't know, it wasn't like it was too, I mean it was too fast, but it wasn't like it was rushed. I don't know how to explain what I'm thinking on this. I just would have liked it to be maybe a little bit more developed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. A little bit more developed for the like hate to love aspect of it. But overall, I did end up enjoying it, and I do think I will continue this series. I'm not exactly sure who the next book is supposed to cover. Yeah, glad that I finally got to this one. And since then, I have started my reread of House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I am, 318 pages into that one. So I'm slowly shifting my tabs to the different colors, and I'm really enjoying my reread of this. I feel like I often forget how much I love this book and this series. It's not that I forget that I love it, because I know that I do, but I forget how much I love it because I love the Throne of Glass series and I love ACOTAR and the characters, that this one I feel like, I don't know, I just don't appreciate it as much, or I don't express my love for it as much as I do those two. And I really love this series and this story and these characters, and I'm just having the best time ever. And yeah, those are my reading updates. I am probably going to go read more of this tonight. Christina and I will likely have our live show, so I'll need to finish it for that. Yeah, I'm having a grand old time. I do have a little unboxing here. So I ordered something from Tiny Human Art. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It's Hooman, so I assume. But look at how cute this little packaging is. Like, that's the logo right now for this little shop. And I have a little thank you for shopping small. All right, let's open it. The thing I ordered is a page overlay, just one single page overlay, and it is for A Court of Silver Flames. Ooh, it's quite thick too, but it is just a little slightly steamy image of Cassian and Nesta, which I love, so I'm excited to put that in. I do have the page overlays from the Reading Portal Co. for ACOTAR and ACOMAF, and I assume that they'll be continuing on with the series. I think. I don't think it's the same artist, but I think the artist that did the first two books is doing their own overlays. I don't know. Either way, I really like these. I think they really add something to the book when you read it. So I will just get all of them for all the Sarah J. Maas books. But I saw that one and I was like, that's cute. That's cute. I need that. So yes, other than that, I don't have very much else to update you on. Even though it's been a week. So I am just going to go read some more of House of Earth and Blood, and I will check in tomorrow or whenever I have another update. Hello. So it is Saturday now, and I finished last night House of Earth and Blood, and I just love this book and this series so much. I did get to re-tab everything. So yeah, it's quite the process to re-tab everything, because like obviously there's so many tabs, and I don't know, did I add new colors? I think I had 3 new colors to my system, and I'm sure that I'll be adding more later, but I just think it matches so much better now. But I love Bryce, I love Hunt, I love Rune, I love the world. I can't wait to discuss this with Christina. I know it's one of like her favorite books of all time, so it's going to be a really fun live show. We're doing it tomorrow, so can't wait to discuss that. Today, Casey is coming over in like, I don't know, an hour or so, and we are going to go to some secret appointment for her. I'm not quite sure what that is. My guess is it's either a tattoo or a piercing. And then we will probably go to Barnes & Noble, maybe Half Price Books, and then we're having a game night. So Casey's going to be here, and then our friend Trevor and his wife and probably his little daughter is going to come, and we're going to play games. So that is the plan for today. I was going to pick up another book. I kind of want to pick up... So I knew this would happen after reading House of Earth and Blood, that I would be in my fantasy mood, but I really want to pick up The Roommate by Rosie Danan before I fully leave my romance reading mood, since I just got this one, and I have like one of my goals for 2023 is to read a book that I buy within a month of buying it, so that I don't like stack up my physical TBR too much and then have like books on there that I'm no longer in the mood for. So I want to read this one, and I feel like it's going to be a pretty quick read, so I could read it like this weekend, and then I can pick up a fantasy book for next week. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I will probably try to maybe start this before Casey gets here, and then I'll probably do a lot of my reading tomorrow. So tomorrow I've got the live show with Christina, and then I'm also doing reading sprints tomorrow night on Sahar's channel for Basically Bookish Reads with a bunch of our friends, because we are starting our read of Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa for Sahar's Fan Row Book Club. So that'll be a reread for me, and I'm excited because I've been dying to reread that book for so long. I think I read it like, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. And yeah, I really loved it when I first read it. So I'm excited to read it and discuss it with everybody. But we're doing reading sprints for that book tomorrow night. So I want to try to finish this before I start Rhapsodic. So yeah, those are the weekend plans. I'm probably gonna end this vlog on Sunday so I can post it sometime next week. But before I go, I do have a lot of unboxings. So the first one I'm gonna do is the non-book one. I mean, it's sort of bookish, but not. You know, just okay. I'll just show you what I mean by that. Okay, so I ordered new tabs because I was running out of a specific tab color during my Crescent City reread. So anyways, I got more tabs. And then I also got some Jelly Roll metallic ink gel pens because I want to use them for annotating. I see them like being used in annotations a lot now, but Lachlan, Bestie Lachlan from Locke's Library, just got some like metallic Jelly Roll gel pens, and she's been like sending pictures of like her annotations with these gel pens, and I just really want to use them when I annotate, and I think they're so cute and they bring back memories. I remember having so many of these Jelly Roll gel pens when I was in like middle school, and I just love all the colors. So I'm happy to have those. Okay, so now we're gonna open this box. This is a pre-order, which finally arrived, even though it was several days after the release date, but whatever. I wasn't gonna read it right away anyways. Okay, so this is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book to Ninth House. Oh, shoot. I was literally going to say I'm just going to return this because I have a different copy and I wanted the white background rather than the red. But, like, look at these end pages. Oh, look at that. Anyways, I do want to read this one sometime this month, but I want to reread Ninth House first because it's been probably like 3 years since I've read that one. And I do remember a lot of what happens, but it's not the same. Like, I want to be re-immersed in the story before going into this one. So I'll be rereading Ninth House this month, and then I'll be jumping into this one. Oh, it's damaged a little bit. Maybe that'll make it easier to return it because I want to get Lost in the Moment and Found by Shauna Maguire, and I was just gonna go to Barnes today when we're in town and return this and replace it with that since I have a copy of this already. Maybe I'll do that. Oh, it's just so pretty though. Dang it. Now for my book of the month box. So I got one of these selections for the month, which take one guess what selection I picked if you subscribe to Book of the Month and have seen the selections. But I also got an add-on this month. Whatever. So the bookmark this month says girls just want to have books, which too true, Book of the Month, too true. The selection that I picked was Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. I originally got Ninth House in the Book of the Month edition, and I thought, oh, I have the Book of the Month edition, so I will have the matching Book of the Month edition. But apparently I replaced it with something else and got a non-Book of the Month edition. Why am I like this? So the non-Book of the Month edition has like the end pages too. Not as cool as Hellbent, honestly. Mom, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. She hates snakes, so. Boo. But I just like how the white book looks better. This doesn't look that bad. I mean, at least at the same height. Yeah, I'm just going to keep the Book of the Month edition because I wanted like the white cover. Even though these end pages, I wish I could just like switch this book. I mean, I could. Would that fit? I could just switch this and not have the actual Book of the Month edition. And then I have the best of both worlds. I have the white cover and I have the end pages. You know what? But then I can't return this. Then I just have it. And it's just the... I'm like, who's going to buy that on Pango Books? A Book of the Month edition with a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I don't know why I was like thinking out loud with that. But the other book that I picked for Book of the Month was A Wilderness of Stars by Shea Earnshaw. I have read and really enjoyed Shea Earnshaw's other books. They're very magical realism, and I believe that's what this one is as well. It's like a dark magical realism. So I've read The Wicked Deep and Winterwood, and I honestly didn't know that this one was coming out. I don't know anything about it. When all is lost, look to the stars. And so I added it, like, so I'll probably be reading this one sometime this month or early next month. And there you have it. Those are all my unboxings. That was fun. All right, now I'm going to go make my decision about if I'm going to keep the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of Hellbent before Casey gets here, and then possibly start The Roommate.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me.
Sunday. So yesterday I went with Casey to her secret appointment. It wasn't like a secret. She just didn't tell anybody she was doing it and asked if I wanted to like come with her. So I just assumed it was a tattoo or a piercing appointment, and it was a piercing. She got her lip pierced and she literally made the appointment for it on Friday. So it's very spontaneous. And then we had our game day, which was really, really fun. And so today I just kind of had a little bit of a chill reading day. I did have my live show with Christina for House of Earth and Blood, which was so much fun. We talked for almost 2 hours about all things Sarah J. Maas and all things House of Earth and Blood, which was amazing. And I read The Roommate by Rosie Danon. So I'm not sure if on my last update I had read any of this yet. I think I was talking about like picking it up before Casey came over, but I did finish it today. I read probably about 50 pages before Casey came over yesterday, and then I just finished all of it today. So if you don't know, this follows 2 roommates who have never met before. Random situation kind of ends up making them roommates, so that part is not super important though. But the male roommate is an adult performer, and the female main character is kind of like from a prim and proper, very rich family. And then basically when she finds out how Josh makes, his money, it just adds a whole new dynamic to their friendship and their relationship. And it's a very sex positive book, which I really appreciated, and it talks a lot about sex workers and the adult film industry, which I feel like a lot of people shy away from that discussion. So I really liked it. I thought the romance itself was super, super cute, and I really liked it. I had a great time reading this, and I'm definitely going to pick up the sequel, which is called The Intimacy Experiment, which is a spin-off book, and it follows one of the other characters that we meet, Naomi. So I found a copy of it on Pango Books as well, so I'm excited to read that one. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It was a good time. So now it is about like 4:30 at night, and I'm going to be doing reading sprints on Sahar's channel for her Fan Row Book Club, and we'll be reading Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa. This is a reread for me, and I'm so excited to reread it. So I'll be picking this up later tonight, but I have a few hours until we do that, and I thought I would try to read Lost in the Moment and Found by Seanan McGuire. So this is the newest installation. Is that the right word for that? No, installment. This is the newest installment of the Wayward Children series, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite series. Every year she releases one of these in January, and every year I am very much looking forward to it. And so I don't know anything about this. I didn't read the synopsis at all, but I believe this is going to be a book set in one of the other worlds. So basically, if you don't know, this series follows these magical doorways. It's like portal fantasies. And if you haven't noticed the pattern of the books before, the even numbered books are all set in these other worlds, and the odd numbered books are set in our world but following these children that have gone to different worlds. And so this is the 8th book, I want to say. Yes, the 8th book. So this is probably going to be set in a different world. And I don't know if we've met this character before or not. I literally have no idea. So I might just go and read this one and get swept away into a whimsical tale. It's very short. It's only about like 150 pages. So I think I might go try to read this before I go on sprints on Sahar's channel with the girlies. So that is my plan for right now. Those are the plans. So I'm going to go hunker down on the couch and read a little bit of Lost in the Moment and Found. Alright, hello everyone. It is now Monday night. I did not have a chance to wrap up the vlog last night, but since I last updated, I did finish Lost in the Moment and Found by Shauna McGuire. So like I said, this is the 8th book, and it was following one of the other worlds. So in this world, it's like where things go when they get lost. And this, I feel like this installment took a little bit of a darker turn. It really talks about childhood and childhood innocence, and like when that is lost, you can't ever get that back. And the metaphor of that, like that's being something that you can lose, and then it's like not something that you can ever get back and that you can never find again, and how that can make you grow up faster than what you're supposed to. It was just really, really well done. And I really enjoyed this installment. My favorite in the series is In an Absent Dream, and this one gave that a run for its money. I still think I like In an Absent Dream a little bit better, but this is probably my next favorite in the series. I just think that the like overall message of this book, although a bit darker, was like just really powerful and really like poignant and well done. So yeah, now I have to wait another year for the next installment, but I really enjoyed this one. And then I did start Rhapsodic on sprints on Sahar's channel with the girls last night, and I didn't make it. I mean, I read this a little bit today, but I made it to page 173, so I'm like over a third of the way through, I would say, nearing the halfway point. And oh, I am just having the best time with this reread. I absolutely loved this book when I read it for the first time, and I've been wanting to reread it for a long time now, but I've been saving it for the reread for Sahar's book club. And oh my god, I'm just having the best time. I love it so much. If you haven't read this yet and you want a good like fantasy romance, I would highly recommend this one because I'm just having the best time. So yeah, I am going to end this vlog here now. If you made it to the end of this video, you can leave the black heart emoji down in the comments down below to let me know that you made it to the end. And don't forget to click like and subscribe while you're down there to help support me and my channel. I would really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you all in my next one. Bye.